So we're now moving on to Gothenburg, Sweden. We will be hearing from Andreas, who is the head of fast-growing businesses at Business Region Gothenburg. I'm just promoting Andreas as a panelist. A bit about Gothenburg. They're 165th globally on the 2022 report, and they're third in Sweden.
So,
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm just going to share my screen here. So I hope you can follow me now. Thanks again for having us here. And it's a great opportunity to present our region and our ecosystem for you. Gothenburg is the second city in Sweden, pretty far up north in Europe. And we're located on the west coast of Sweden. Gothenburg passed 1 million residents a couple of years ago. So in the greater city of Gothenburg, we're 1.1 million today. Right now, we're doing a lot of improvements in the city, and basically the central part of the city is going to double in size up until 2035. And we are investing 100 billion euros up until 2035 in housings and in infrastructure in the city. Our estimate is that the city will reach 1.75 million residents by 2035, and that we, up until then, going to create another 134,000 jobs. The tech scene in Gothenburg is really, it's a lot of deep tech, and it's a stronghold for innovation and R&D. Today we have roughly 700 startups and scale-ups in Gothenburg that employs 13,000 people. And some of the notable startups that we have from our region are Cellink, producing biomaterial that you can 3D print biomaterial. We have Heart Aerospace, creating completely electric airplanes. Recorded Future, Einride, Naked, some other great examples. Gothenburg is really in the heart of the global digital revolution right now, and we see that also by the figures that we present. Today, 33% of all the private R&D in Sweden actually takes place in Gothenburg region, and that should be compared to that we have 11% of the inhabitants. So it's a really strong focus on R&D in the region here. And that is, of course, thanks to that we have a lot of major companies here that are driving the development to the future, and also becoming really great. They're setting the agenda, and they're bringing all the startups and scale-ups with them, and really developing forefront technology for the future. The strongholds in terms of industries are, of course, mobility, with the Volvo companies headquartered here, but also a big portion within life science with Essity and AstraZeneca having great research sites here. And of course, Ericsson for connectivity and 5G and 6G development for the future. Right now, we see a very high interest in Gothenburg. So this year so far, we have announced 4,500 new jobs due to establishments. As an example, we have one research center and one new battery factory that are under development. It's going to open up in Gothenburg in the coming years. One thing that is really in the essence for our region is collaboration, and we believe a lot in that. And also the big companies do that. So some of them have created their own facilities where they can invite scale-up companies and startup companies to develop together with them. So we have the BioVenture Hub within AstraZeneca. We have the Mobility X Lab for big portion of the transportation industry. CampX by Volvo and Ericsson One, great examples where the global players invite the scale-up companies to develop together. We also believe in test beds, and we have today more than 60 active test beds within different fields where you can try something virtually, you can try it in lab, or you can try something in real city environments. One example is that we launched last year the Gothenburg Green City Zone, where we're going to have 3 different parts of the city. It's going to be completely emission-free by 2030. That's something, a project we run together with Volvo Cars. And that, of course, creates a lot of new business opportunities connected to that, how to transport people and goods in a 100% emission-free zones in the middle of the city. We also are very strong in welcoming people from abroad here. We have a concept we call Move to Gothenburg to attract people to Gothenburg, and of course the International House Gothenburg to help them to land, to get a soft landing here in Gothenburg. Historically, we're pretty good in attracting engineers here, but we are moving forward to actually be better in attracting entrepreneurs as well, and people wanting to work in the tech companies rather than in the major global companies. So that's the next step for us in that development. We're kind of proud of that we rank very, very good in different rankings. That's the best sustainable city in the world. We have really good in human capital and lifestyle among the European cities. And we also believe in what also Berlin mentioned earlier, that it's so important that people also can have a life outside job and find our region attractive. So we put a lot of effort into that. What we're missing here is that we also want to climb, of course, in the rankings for a startup ecosystem, and that's something we're working actively on right now to, in a couple of years, be able to put that up here as well. So the next step for the startup ecosystem is to actively, through different activities, attract more capital to the city, create more meeting places, and create more affordable offices. And one example of that is what you see in the picture here is an old shipyard in central Gothenburg, where we create something that we call the Yard, where we're going to create new, transform these buildings to affordable offices and new meeting places for startup and scale-up companies. And that's in the direct vicinity of the Geely Innovation Center and the Lindemann Science Park that holds more than 400 companies today already. So we think it's going to be a great location where new innovations can thrive in the future. So thanks a lot from me, from Gothenburg, and thanks for the opportunity to speak here today. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or ideas.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you for sharing to us